On your street, we're going to start the meeting.
There you go.
Welcome everybody to the Town of Rome Board meeting for Thursday, December 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Can I get a roll call starting from my left, please?
Evenson here.
Giardino here.
Asdell here.
Sammelstead here.
Reppin here.
Thank you. Number 3, certified posting of the meeting, please.
Certify that on Monday, December 15th, the agenda for the town board meeting for Thursday, December 18th was posted at the Rome Town Hall at 11:50 a.m., Quick Trip LLC at 5:12 p.m., Yakuza Port Edward State Bank 5:07 p.m., and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 11:54 a.m.
Okay. Number 4, approve the agenda.
Carl, I'd like to make a motion, I guess. Move number 11 up ahead of number 7.
Anybody want to second that?
Okay, I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion?
Was that going to be is that going to be an open meeting, right?
Yes.
With Greg? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, it's moving Elders up. So,
Okay.
got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Number 5, please stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Number 6, citizen comments. Any cards turned in? Bypass number 6. Okay, we are going to number 7, which will be
Ellers.
Ellers. Oh,
Is he here?
discussion of possible action, presentation. Greg, are you here? Greg?
Yeah, he's coming along. There he is.
Ah. Okay, Greg's going to go over the annual tax increment district report, but before he does, as long as we have the TIF involved, I did want to make a note to everybody about, you do understand the issue we had with the taxes. We messed up. It's our fault. The board has to take partial responsibility for it, since it's up to us to make sure everybody has the proper tools and is trained properly. It did come to our attention that anybody here hasn't done it. They did it last year, and we had an issue. The year before it was done, but nobody was here. Nobody's been trained in how to do it. So I did want to apologize for that. So Monday, I got the call that we had an issue. First priority was to get the message out to everybody that we messed up. We want to be transparent as possible. After that, next priority was to get it resolved. How do we fix it? I don't want pointing fingers and all that. That's doesn't help. Solve the problem and move forward. They had already talked to the state when I talked to them to find out what the process was. They talked to the county. By the time they got done with the county, it was already set for the next day. The taxes were done and fixed on Tuesday on the website, and the new mailings went out on Tuesday. Again, we're trying to get things done as fast as possible. With that in mind, trying to figure out, I did tell them to notify the board, but trust me, they were busy. After that, we got to figure out what happened. And to that end, I've already talked to Ellers, Greg, but they don't do the analysis of that in that respect. So I have contacted Kerber Rose, CPA we've worked with in the past, and Greg highly recommends it as well. We're going to have them do a forensic analysis of what happened this year, what happened last year, how do we fix it, and how we move forward from there. The suggestion is going to be that we have Kerber Rose come in and give everybody training on the TID. And it's not a fault of Sand Valley. It was our fault. But again, management has to take some of the responsibility. But I want them to come in, work with everybody, work with the clerk, work with the treasurer, and work with the town administrator and any board member who wants to sit in and understand how the TID works. It is not an easy situation. It's complicated, but it's a huge benefit for the town. But that's what Greg's going to cover tonight on what the benefits are coming up shortly when it's all paid off.
Carl?
Yes.
The issue was with how we deal with a TIF in a town. That was a major part of the problem.
Yeah, I'm positive it was. Yeah, when I heard the number, I said, yeah, it has to be that. How and what, I don't know. Again, there's different numbers that get sent in. You got TID in, TID out. That applies to the value of the town, how it gets reported. Then you also have 2 tax functions for a TID. They pay the tax that was originally paid back before the TID was effective. That was, I believe, $1,200,000 that gets paid every year to the town, the county, and the school. The rest of their taxes, they do pay taxes on all the property improvements over there. They're assessed at the same mill rate we are, and that goes in somewhere else. I don't know who collects it. I'm not involved with government accounting. I don't even want to go there. But anyway, that's why we're bringing in the expert to handle all that. And again, the board has to ensure that everybody has the right tools to do their job properly. And again, that's on us. We're going to fix that, make sure it doesn't happen again. We're also going to have them review the process to see if there's any weak spots going through the whole process. We're going to have Kerber Rose follow it next year. As soon as the budget's done, we're going to have them work with our folks here, bird dog it all the way till the money gets sent in. And then we'll do an analysis after the fact. So if anybody has any questions, hit us. Okay. Any questions?
Well, as a board member, it was, I think we could have done a little bit better job getting it out to the board members, because we had a lot of phone calls and we didn't know what was going on. And thank you for explaining that. But I think in the future, that's one thing we need to work on.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, when they called, there was a panic. You could sense that right away. But the priority was to get the information out to the folks, and I did mention get to the board, but they were here a little bit late on Tuesday or Monday getting this thing done. So it ain't gonna happen again. We'll make sure. If I got to learn it, I'll do it. Scary thought. Greg. I asked Greg to come in and go through the whole process of the TID. It did get moved up a year, which has an impact on all of our taxes. Sorry? Can you hear us, Greg?
I can.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna move a microphone over there.
Presentation that
Why isn't it going
that
to
you
the
have.
TV, Rob?
So just some background information about TID District Number 1. When this district was created, its primary purpose was to help accelerate
Bring me the remote,
construction of the second Deep Hole Golf Course in Sand Valley and other amenities. So the district was really put in place to help accelerate
Yeah.
development with.
Greg, can you hold on a second? We're trying to get the volume up here.
Jason, do you know how to get this to the TV?
You have to switch it over to TV?
Go down at the
First came on, he was
icon
all
down
right.
at the bottom to the right. Oh, no, on your,
I know, but I've lost him again.
We are waiting for audio architects to come back with us for fixing all this, by the way. Soon, I hope.
Where is my mouse?
I expect a little more pushback or feedback. Whew. What was it on the other day when you hit it and it just went right up?
The other day.
Robbie, you don't have Teams open, you have Chrome open.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom bar.
Shit.
Right, that's the Teams where he's actually,
At.
yeah, where he's,
Yeah, good job, thank you. Okay, he's back. Right.
now go to the volume.
They know a lot more than I do.
Have them speak, see what happens.
Craig, speak for me, please.
Can you hear me now?
I don't think.
Can you hear anything now?
As high as I can get it.
Click on mic.
If you go on the icon, the volume icon,
There should be a volume key on the computer.
That's at 100 too.
Worked the other day. I don't understand.
Well, it worked when he first came
It's
on.
coming
you
through
hear
the
it.
speakers.
Ah, we got an expert coming up? Hold on.
The next word,
Oh.
but they keep saying things that at least can do that.
I'm not. Vito, go help Mom.
You talking to me? I could barely use my phone.
That's the one that says it's on, so then I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it's
That's as much as I can do.
Yeah.
Working on it.
We're waiting for the bid. Got it?
No, it says it's on the Samsung TV, but it's not.
Okay, can you put the microphone by the speaker on the computer?
I think it is working.
It is, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Greg, do you have a volume on your end by the
Okay.
chance?
I'm cranked up as high as I can get it. So,
Okay.
So we just have to be quiet and listen.
can you hear me?
We-
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I'll start with some background information on the TID district. When the TID district was created, the primary objective was to help accelerate construction of a second 18-hole golf course and other amenities at Sand Valley. So the TIP district was the primary economic development tool put in place to help accelerate development out at the overall Sand Valley development. The incremental value, the increase in taxable value that's been generated since the TID district was created as of January 1st of 2025 is $162,372,800 of value. So that's the increase in taxable value that's been generated since the district was created. The district is projected to close in 2028. That's when the last remaining debt service payments can be paid off early. The debt can be retired. The TID district can close, and the incremental value at the time of closure will return to the tax rolls, benefiting all the taxing jurisdictions, counties, school district, technical college, schools, and we'll go through an illustration of how that could potentially impact tax rates using your 2025 budget as an example. So the primary project costs that were incurred in the TID district since it was created, when the district was created back in 2016, the town provided a $12 million development incentive to Sand Valley to accelerate construction of that second 18-hole golf course. The other costs that were incurred were some Archer Road and other related costs to the TID district. That totaled $850,000. That was financed in 2017. All of the debt service payments under the development agreement with Sand Valley were guaranteed. What that means is if the tax increment generated by the district was insufficient to cover the debt service payments, Sand Valley was responsible for making a shortfall payment to the town, which did occur for the first couple years of the TID district. But under the terms of the development agreement, Sand Valley could be reimbursed for those shortfall payments, and that has occurred. So really the only remaining project costs are debt service payments. So the original $12 million development incentive was financed in 2016, and that loan that financed that development incentive was refinanced in 2020, which lowered debt service costs by $1,345,000. The loan that was secured for Archer Road and other project costs was paid off early in 2025. So only the 2020 bonds are outstanding, are the only major costs remaining for the district. All other costs incurred on an annual basis are relatively minor. So here we have the tax increment projection. This projects how much tax revenue is generated by the TIP district. So in 2026, for this upcoming budget, the tax increment revenue will be about $2,007,000. So that's the revenue stream that goes into the tax increment district fund. So as the town chair mentioned, whether your property is in a TIF district or outside of a TIF district, you pay the same tax rate. There's no difference in the tax rate you pay. It's just where the tax revenue goes. So for the increase in value that's been generated since the TIF district was created, that's the $162,372,000 of value. All of those taxes that Sand Valley pays on that value gets retained by the town to pay for expenditures within the TIF district. Then once the TIF district closes, all that value returns to the tax rolls, again, benefiting all the taxing jurisdictions. And we'll look at an illustration of that in a moment. So for the cash flow projection for the district, the primary revenue source is the tax increment, the taxes collected on that increase in value since the district was created. There's also some personal property aid payments that are attributable to the TID district. So those are the primary revenue sources. And then the primary cost is debt service payments, principal and interest. So as I mentioned, the 2016 loan was refinanced in 2020. The 2017 financing for Archer Road and other costs was paid off earlier this year. And then the 2020 bonds for the refinancing from 2016, those are projected to be paid off early in 2028. And then there's just some other costs that the town incurs for the TIF district, that are TID eligible expenses, some reporting expenses, audit, some DOR fees, and things of that nature. And then the other cost, which is no longer ongoing, was the repayment back to Sand Valley for their shortfall payments. So from 2017 to 2020, Sand Valley paid to the town about $1,379,697 for shortfall payments because the tax increment collected did not cover the debt service payments. Per the terms of the development agreement, those costs could be reimbursed back to Sand Valley if the TID was generating excess increment over the debt service payments. And so those shortfall payments were fully reimbursed back to Sand Valley in 2025 was the final payment. So in this balances column, the cumulative balance, that just shows the overall fund balance in the TID fund. As debt is paid off in 2028, that debt can be retired early based on this projection. Under state law, once a TID has sufficient funds to pay off all of its obligations, this district cannot incur any new cost. It's statutorily required to close. So we're projecting that that's going to occur in 2028. So to kind of illustrate, this is just an example, I want to emphasize that, of how that could impact tax rates once all that incremental value returns to the tax pool. Here's just kind of a illustration using your 2025 budget as an example. So the total taxes paid on a home with an assessed value of $280,200 for the town, school, county, and technical college totaled $3,972. If the TID district had closed when, prior to the adoption of your 2025 budget, again, that's not what occurred. This is just a illustration of how a TID closure can impact your tax rates. The total taxes on that same property assessed at $280,200 would have been $3,605. So the illustration in this example with the TID closure, a home assessed at $280,200, the total tax bill for the town, school, county, and technical college would have gone down $367. So this kind of shows the financial benefit to the town and all the taxing jurisdictions when the TID district closes. And just given the healthy amount of value that's in the TID district, it will have a meaningful impact. So again, this is just kind of based off of current year numbers to kind of illustrate the difference. This calculation can get updated as we get closer to 2028. But again, it shows that can be positive impacts to the tax rate to all the taxing jurisdictions. So that's kind of the update of the TIF district. The TID is in a very strong financial position. There's never been any general tax levy support provided to the TID district since it was created. All the expenditures have either been covered by increases in taxes paid by Sand Valley or shortfall payments made by Sand Valley. But when the TID district closes and that taxable value returns to the tax rolls, all the taxing jurisdictions will benefit from that value returning to the tax rolls. So that's kind of an overview of kind of the status of the TIF district and an illustration of how the tax rates could change based on a TID closure in the future. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Rob, could you come up to the microphone? Thanks.
First of all, Town of Rome, it's great. What a great structure on the TID district and how it's put together. The guarantee that the Kaisers did in Sand Valley doesn't happen in a lot of TIDs. I've been involved in a couple of these in the past. The one thing that I would stress if I was Greg or the Town of Rome is the perpetuity of these taxes going forward. So the benefit was to the Kaisers and to Sand Valley initially, but at the same time, the town was savvy enough to realize that the perpetuity of this tax revenue for Infinity and beyond is just fantastic for the schools, Mid-State Technical College, and certainly the town of Rome. One thing, Greg, is that a statute change with regards to having to close it out when the cash value is, or when the debt is paid off? Can't it stay open until the TID by law has to close on 31?
No, it's not a new statutory requirement. The TID can't incur any new costs because all TID districts have an expenditure period, which is a cutoff date when you can no longer incur any new expenses. And for this TID district, that occurred several years back. So under statutes, you're required to close the TID district once you've recovered all your project costs, or the TID district reaches the end of its maximum life, whichever occurs sooner.
And I'm sure you know what you're doing, but I've been involved in a couple of these things in the past, and there's been balances available that the towns or the villages have been able to use without closing out the TID. Am I wrong with that?
When a TID district closes, if there are excess funds available in the TID district fund, so you've paid off the expenses, there's some money left over, statutorily that's required to be distributed to all the other taxing jurisdictions based on their proportional share of the tax levy. So that those funds are unrestricted, and that's required to be dispersed under state statute.
Okay, I'd like to visit with you later about some of this stuff if that's possible, and that's all I have to say is congratulations with regards to having a profitable TID.
Thanks, Rob. The other thing too is again, every year the town has been collecting 30% of the room tax that comes in. This year it's budgeted for north of $300,000, and we don't see that going down. So it has been a strong benefit from really from day one, and just been a welcome relief for us. So we're almost near the end. And again, the original closing date was 2032. It's down to 2028 now, and it'll be effective on the 2029 taxes. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of it. It's somewhat of a complicated process, but we got one of the experts here, and I guess Rob knows about them too. But just want to make sure everybody understood, and especially the board, what was happening and what we have to start planning for. Because again, we should start planning for this going forward, so that the funds are used properly and what the taxpayers want. So, any questions? Must have done a really good job, Greg. Nobody's got any questions.
All right.
Great.
Thanks for your time.
Great. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.
All right, back to number 8, information updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, current events, and announcements. We'll start with Cheryl.
I have one New Year's Day. There's going to be a polar plunge at the Lure at 1 o'clock. It's a fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Network, so it's a great cause.
Be cold.
It's always cold, but they have a hot tub if you decide to go jump in. You can get in the tub afterwards. Yeah. All right, I know.
I'm good.
All right. Mark?
I'm good.
Nothing.
Just a couple of things. We don't have really much of an update on solar. We covered a lot of it last week, so kind of in a quiet period. I understand we're going to have one more comment period, or those of us that filed reports will get another shot at them again. So we're just waiting to hear what's going on with that. Also, Lisa could help me out on this. The pond hockey in Sand Valley is going to be going again this year. So that's coming up, right? And also last Saturday we had Christmas in Rome with the kids, and just want to recognize Visit Rome, Sand Valley, the Rome Makers, Fire Department, the Snow Bandits, and the town of Rome for putting on a show. There was a lot of people here. The parking lot was packed. Anyways, it was a good time. Hopefully, most of you were able to make it. But if you can't make it next year, make it next year. It was a good time. So that's it on that. Okay, number 9, department and committee reports. Karen, you want to start? You just rough draft. We do have all your information. Highlight.
I'm sorry, what?
You want to highlight anything?
In my report?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. Anybody else? Do we have any other updates on anything? It's pretty typical. I did have a question. We have 4 new short-term rentals. How many short-term rentals do we have now? Approximately?
Approximately 130.
Yeah, something
130?
like that. It's 100, it's right around 130.
Is that static or is it going up or down?
It's slowly rising.
Yeah, it's slowly
Okay.
rising.
Any issues, complaints? Jason, have you heard anything? So, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, those are the bigger ones.
Okay. So everything's working well with them? Okay. All right, nothing else in the reports? Number 10, discussion of possible action approval of the December 4th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 11, discussion of possible action, checks, vouchers, receipts, and journal entries. Approved checks 5001 through 50087, totaling $526,758.87. Auto payments totaling $88,485.62. State Social Security, Medicare withholding totaling $38,257.02. Payroll vouchers V24584 through V24707, totaling $103,300.38. Receipts 27019 through 27063, totaling $176,870.70.
I
get a
think
motion?
you actually got faster this.
I'll make a
Got a lot to
motion.
cover tonight.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 12, discussion of possible action, establish dates for January board meetings. January 1st is out, right?
Yes, that is a holiday. We have 3 options. Would you like me to give them to you? We can go to January 8th and 15th. We could go to January 8th and 22nd, or we can just have one meeting in January on the 15th.
Suggestions?
Pick one.
I'd go for just one on the 15th, but that's me.
Do we have a lot coming up, or we did pass some items off?
2 items is all we
Passed?
passed on.
With the holidays coming up, I suppose that we're not going to be that busy, maybe. I don't know.
Stick with one?
Stick with one in January.
Yeah. Everybody good with that, 15th?
15th, it is.
Any issues?
So we're going to just do one on just the
January
15th.
15th.
That's it, just one.
Yeah. Got it.
Need a motion.
Okay.
Yep. Get a motion, please?
I'll
Make a motion to have it one meeting in January on January 15th, 2026.
I'll second.
Discussion? And just, it will happen that or February, we go back to first and third Thursday. Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Discussion of possible action, request for waiver of fire department fees for the polar bear jump on January 1st, 2026 at the Lure.
I'll make a motion to approve the waiver for the fire department.
What are the fees?
This is standard. We waive these fees every year. It's because it's a fundraiser for.
Oh, they need a license? Is that what they need?
No, they need to have the fire department there
For safety.
in the water for safety.
You need
Oh,
safety.
oh,
yes, they're-
okay,
they're
okay.
there.
Okay.
And I'll second the motion.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carried. 14, discussion and possible action, approval of recommendation from the Plan Commission on consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation for Up North Brewing Company, CO4 Veterans LLC for the property located at 304 Matterhorn Trail, also described as PT Lot 9 of Alpine Village, located in southeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, section 08 and northeast 1/4, northwest 1/4, section 17, town 20 north, range 06 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-1136-0589.
All right, I'll make that motion to pass.
Yeah, I'll second that.
You don't want me to repeat it, do you?
No.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 15, discussion and possible action approval of ordinance number 25, recommendation from the Plan Commission on consideration of the proposed comprehensive plan map 9 amendment from forestry to residential and zoning map amendment from FR Forest and Outdoor Recreation District to R1 Single Family Residence District relating to the properties located in Section 29, Town 20 North, Range 06 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with parcel numbers 030-00989-000 and 030-00991-000, total area 77.77 acres.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second that.
They never put addresses there.
It's on the corner of O and, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, go up there, please. Yeah.
Julie Casper, 101 14th Avenue. Is there any way that we could put addresses to these, when you guys type up places and all the numbers, parcel numbers and everything, it's like, okay, so who's going to go and where are you going to find these parcel numbers? What about if you put your parcel numbers, because you have to do it legally, but can you put an address to it? So then everybody knows
Has
what
an
they're
address
talking about.
been allocated to the parcel yet?
Most
No.
of these, there won't be an address.
There isn't an address on a lot of them.
Well,
Across from Derek Hughes for this one.
Okay.
well, there's no street or anything?
There's not a,
There's
Yeah, it's on the corner of 13 and O there, going
Well,
to
it's
Derek-
east of there.
east of the.
It's
13.
across from the
Do
Derek
you know what I'm
Hughes.
trying to
Yeah, I know what
say?
you're saying, though. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
if
We'll work
possible.
on it. Yeah, we'll work on it. If
Something we
there's
can-
an address, I don't, in our notes here, I don't see why we can't try and be a little
Because
more.
then this way,
yeah.
everybody's going, where is
Yep.
this?
Well, we have to do the same thing. We have to go look it up too. I don't know
Right,
where.
so while you're looking, hey,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
All right, thanks. Welcome for suggestions. Okay, get a motion, please?
We did.
We did.
Oh, okay.
Tim, motion, I second it.
All right. Can I, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye and opposed. Motion carried. Number 16, discussion and possible action, discussion regarding policies for town government on Lexipol. Mark, it's all yours.
I'd like to get a final decision on the town government using Lexipol, and I asked Jason Lobby, the police chief, to come and give a presentation to the board so the board can understand exactly what Lexipol is. Jason gave a presentation to the board in September 2024 on what Lexipol was, and the board at that time authorized the implementation of the government policies to start. Jason, would you come up and tell this board? I think you and I are the only ones that's aware of what Lexipol is.
Sure, I can recap on it. Lexipol is considered a vendor. They sell several products. The police department and fire department have purchased the Lexipol policy platform. We've had it for several years. Basically, it's an electronic distribution of a policy manual. There's template policies, like in the police department. Those policies are written by attorneys that are versed in Wisconsin police practices and laws. The policies come in an electronic version. There's an index. We then tailor them for our specific department. Like in the police department, it would be rank. Obviously, we don't have captains and lieutenants like some bigger departments would have, so we have to edit those to remove those layers of supervision. The policies all start in a draft form. When you go through and make those arrangements to delete the rankings out that we don't have and add things that are specific to the town of Rome, then you'd put it into an in approval status. I could have my sergeant look it over at that time. His notes would show up. He'd send it back to me. I would put it as approved. I then can check boxes for it to be distributed out to the staff. So all of the staff are signed up through their email address, which serves as their username and password. There's then a dashboard that I see, and I can see when they received the policy, when they viewed it, and when they signed off that they understand it. So basically, in a nutshell, it's an electronic method to deliver policies.
You said that it was just the police and fire department? I thought this was for the whole township.
We have the general government manual. The general
Oh,
government
so it
manual,
could go to the township?
Yes.
that's what Supervisor Samelstead was saying. That was approved in 2024, but with me serving in both roles, in the police department, it took a year to put this out because there's tons of policies in it and you have to go through each one and then push them out. So some of them are done in the general government, some of them are not. I think the first policy 100 was adopted by the former board and that says what the policy manual is and how to implement it, is my recollection of where that policy manual stands at this point.
And I think I had Wendy send out to the commissioners the Lexipol index of the policies that are available for recommendation. You also got a couple of examples of Lexipol policies in there. Lexipol is a nationally renowned organization. They have the attorneys, like Jason said, that are up to date on Wisconsin state laws and federal laws. The town board back in 2024 approved it, and my opinion, we need to start converting our old policies to the Lexipol policies.
And I guess that's one point that I missed. I was already trained on Lexipol because we have it in the police department. So normally they come in and do an onboarding and train who's going to manage that. Obviously, they're not going to do that when I was here because I've already been onboarded in the police and know how to use the system. But we pay them to provide the training for the users and people that are writing the policies.
I know the fire chief, Mark Kane, when he went with Lexipol, I forget what year it was after Jason went, he assigned one of his assistant chiefs as an individual to, what's the word I'm looking for? To turn the boilerplate policies over to the Rome Fire Department. So if we're going to go with the government Lexipol policies, we're going to probably have to assign one individual to do that conversion.
So don't we pay a yearly fee for that, Jason?
Yep.
Yes. I'm pretty sure the government manual, my manual, is a yearly fee.
Yeah.
I think that was just paid.
Because this is what I was promoting at the library board. It's convenient, it's electronic, and we can tailor it to fit whatever department. Am I right in saying that?
Correct. My impression of the general policy manual, it's an electronic way to submit it versus running with a sheet of paper and having people sign their names, because the police policy, maybe some of you don't know, but generally it's the same throughout the state. They have recommended, there's ways you have to do things such as use of force. The state mandates how you're going to do it. So Lexipol has that written and reviewed by attorneys and we implement it. The general government, we have a lot of specific things to the town, like the town hall's open from this time to this time. So there's probably more editing work in that general manual than what I have in my police manual to get it all up to speed and ready to be distributed out to all of the employees.
And Lexipol also provides updates to the policies several
Correct.
times. I think, Jason, you told me that they just did an update on the pursuit policy.
Correct.
In the state of Wisconsin. The attorneys up for Lexipol do that, then they send the update to Jason, and he has to put it out to his officers. The same would hold for the government policies.
Correct.
So who do you think would be a person that would take on this role?
Good point. Well, I think the board sets policy, so I think the board has to be involved in all the reviews. It doesn't mean we don't do the work. I mean, it's just somebody can do the policy work, combine it, or figure it out, but it might take some input from the board, I would imagine, too.
Well, you can adapt the policy, bring it back to the board. It's got to come back to the board for their review.
Right.
If they want to make changes, you make the changes, and
You've got to have the onboarding. Somebody's got to take the training,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm just trying to figure out what steps, who's going to start with that.
Robbie, have any of the Lexipol policies been approved so far?
Couple have, right, Jason? The dress code
Correct.
was.
Some of the general ones are in approval status. They have not been issued.
I mean, we can hire temporary staff to come in and fill them in, based on the information that we provide to them, but we don't have the staff right now to
Yeah.
implement.
Another point is, Jason pointed this out to me a while ago. Our insurance company gives us a break when we go with Lexipol
Yes, they
policies.
do. That's correct.
We get a break on insurance rates.
Can I make a suggestion? If we've already paid for it can we get the policy that as a current one that they have out there for the government, send it to the board, and when we have time, look through it or take sections or something like that, and just get an idea of what we're looking at? Because to be honest with you, I have no idea how many pages is it? 50, 100, 500? Any idea?
Oh, the index, I don't know.
I have no idea how many pages.
Yeah.
Depends on each policy. So
Yeah.
one policy may have 1 page, the other one has 5.
You're probably looking at a lot of pages.
So
I
the,
mean, you guys could tackle sections.
yeah.
There's
And
9 sections in the general.
there's a couple that are already approved and just waiting. Who has to do the next step then?
Well, like the dress code has been approved. That went through the town board. I'd have to look into the other ones that are in there.
Vacation policy.
Vacation policy was the other one.
Okay, all right.
So there's a few out there that have been approved by the prior board, but we could go through all those.
But they haven't been issued.
No, they're issued.
They're
Yeah,
issued?
They're in place.
Have any of the town employees signed off on it?
No,
Well, they don't have access to it yet.
no, it's not at that point. I know that individual departments have had them sign off on paper, but not through the electronic process.
Jason, how do we get that through the electronic process for the town employees, like the dress code, the vacation?
I would recommend you do the onboarding because again, the employee's going to need training to know how to go into their portal and actually view the stuff, and the staff here to move it from where it is. What I did to clarify, I believe it was the dress code one, and I believe also the Channel 300 use policy. They were uploaded online where our current policies are, but they're in the Lexipol format. If you look at them, you can clearly tell the difference between all the other policies that are there and those couple. So in other words, we took the electronic version, just printed it, and put it up where all of our policies currently are for our employees. It wasn't electronically issued. Because Lexipol doesn't recommend doing that until you get at least 50% of the manual done. They don't recommend releasing the policies out, or you got people looking in 3 different places for their policies. So they wanted a good portion done before you go and release them out.
Do you think this is a case where we could hire a temp to come in and start doing the customizing the policies to the town?
The only issue is if you're onboarding somebody, you don't want to onboard a temporary person with all the training. You'd want somebody permanently with all the training.
Can I ask Karen what you think?
No,
No? Okay.
no, you can
Oh,
ask.
I can.
No, I would not hire a temp to do this.
Okay.
Nope.
Who would you ask to do this or sign to do this?
Well, I would say typically it's the administrator who does policy review, and I'm happy to do that, and then bring it to the board. And that was my suggestion prior. I have no issues with Lexipol. What I was indicating is that Lexipol is templates, which is what Jason confirmed. They're template policies, they're boilerplate policies that need to be amended to match its use for the town. So I'm happy to go through all of those and bring them forward to the board for review and approvals or amendments or whatever.
Oh, can you work with Jason so you get onboarded so you can do that?
Sure.
In the meantime, can you send out what we do have and make a note of what's already been approved?
Yep.
I don't know, have you seen this before, Lexipol?
Yes.
Have you? Okay. That'd be helpful. Got everything here? Not yet. Alrighty. We don't need to make any motions on that, right? Number 17, discussion of possible action, deer hunting in residential neighborhoods. Just added this on. Had a complaint from one person, well, two actually, just about the deer hunting in the residential neighborhoods. And Jason, I think you can address it better than anybody, but what they can and can't do. But the one was an issue where they're supposed to be 300 feet from a house. Is that shooting towards or away from? Or, but in any case, they claimed that this person was 80 feet away, about. And they shot a deer in an open area that wasn't covered apparently under the program. But
Yeah, I'm only aware of the one complaint that happened over on Round Oak, and we addressed that. That was the group that we have doing the special hunt. The actual law is 300 feet from a from a dwelling, unless you have permission from the owner to hunt closer to it.
But 300 foot, does it mean, like, if I got a house behind me, I got to be 300 foot from that house to?
Correct, to where you would discharge. So if you're 301 feet and shooting the opposite direction, you'd be good to go. Or if you had permission from that house, that's
Okay.
the owner of that house, that's 300 foot. Your own house wouldn't count, obviously, because you're the one hunting, and it doesn't include campers. It only includes houses. So like vacant, seasonal type structures that are on property wouldn't count in that 300. You could be closer to that. A garage, you could be closer because it says structure for human, a house basically, not an accessory structure.
Okay. I'll go back to the person and just tell them, call you if they have any issues and
Yeah.
get it resolved.
And
Yeah.
then after that issue, the first issue, I did send an email to the manager of that group, and he sent an email out to all of the hunters reminding them about trespassing and what the rules were at that time.
Okay, good. Thank you. Number 18, discussion of possible action, approval of reappointment of Bruce Roki to the Leicester Public Library Board.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 19, discussion of possible action, approval of appointment of Lori Fatla to the Leicester Public Library Board.
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 20, the board may go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 sub 1 sub G, conferring the legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the board with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved regarding parcel number 030 05053 0000. I'll probably do all three at the same time, right? Number 21, the board may go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 sub 1 sub C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, review police contract negotiations. And number 22, the board may go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 sub 1 sub C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, town administrator, 2-month evaluation.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call starting from my left.
Evenson, yes.
Giardino, yes.
Hasler, yes.
Samuel said yes.
Reppin, yes.
Okay, we are now in closed session. We're going to be a while. In an open session authorized by Wisconsin State Statute 19.85 sub 2 to possibly take action from the closed session and continue with the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Motion to come back into open session?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, start with a roll call on my left.
Stevenson, yes.
Giardino, yes.
Asdo, yes.
Samuel said yes.
Reppin, yes.
Okay, we are now back in open session. And we get a motion for one item
I'll make a motion to proceed as we discussed in closed session
on,
on all three issues.
guess that'll cover it. Okay,
That cover it?
yeah.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion is carried. Next agenda items,
Lakewood ordinance, direction for the Park and Rec Committee, and parking ban ordinance.
What?
no.
Parking ban.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the
Oh,
three
that's
items.
Vito's parking thing at the
Oh,
library.
the next, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what we're
I
just,
took them right off the agenda.
I thought you were repeating the closed session stuff. Long day.
We're all tired.
Okay, yes, yes, and yes. Jeez, long friggin' day.
And the next meeting is
January 15th.
January
15, 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
You can handle it.
All right, can I get a motion for
Motion to
adjournment?
adjourn?
Second.
sec.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.